Hey, good morning, everybody. What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome. Welcome to a new show of the Daily Mind podcast. Back again for another hour or so on this show. You know how it goes. It can go anywhere from an hour to 2 hours to 3 hours. I'm not trying to go 2, 3 hours, but if it makes it about an hour and a half, I'll be all right with that. Usually work nights is a little bit rough. And sometimes when I do this show on work nights, it kind of pushes late after production. There's post production, and there's uploading, and then it's a whole production. But anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome, welcome. It's Tuesday night over here, which is Tuesday morning. A lot of you people are waking up for another fantastic day. I can only hope, especially in these trying times. Government shutdown is probably making history right now as the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. And it doesn't seem like it's letting up anytime soon. Both sides are just not caving in to each other's demands. And it's taking a toll on everybody. And what better or worse time, actually, than to do this right now when we're on the eve of the holidays. You got Thanksgiving, people, time to spend with families and be grateful and thankful. And then Christmas and every other holiday that goes along with it could very well be affected. And there's now speculation now that this government shutdown can run into the first week of December. So we're talking, there's going to be some families that's going to be penny pinching, going to food banks, trying to make ends meet for, Thanksgiving. So from what they said now, they said that President Trump is ordered to release funds for the food stamps, but it's going to be delays and people are not going to get all of their stamps. You got people that are going to get only half of their stamps. Listen, for what it is, it's better than getting no stamps at all. I'd rather everybody get everything that they need, of course. But the way they're doing it now is that they're going to give only like 50%, and then it's going to take a little bit longer than a couple of weeks maybe to even get the stamp. So there's a lot of crazy stuff happening with that. So yeah, people getting furloughed, flights are getting delayed simply because air traffic controllers have been furloughed, and now there's not enough air traffic controllers to keep the planes going, so they're grounding flights, delaying flights. It's having a ripple effect, but I'm pretty sure all this is part of a much bigger plan of an economic bounce back. Nothing just happens. There's always an ulterior motive for whatever goes on. Whether or not people care, don't know. People just want food on their table and a roof over their head. That's all that matters. Anything beyond that is just trivial. But anyway, my day went fine. A lot of things happening behind the scenes, not with the show, just life. Can't get all in the detail about it right now. Hopefully I find, it's life stuff, right? I'm not going to get too much in the detail with it. But my day was all right, man. The weather's nice out here. It's actually not that cold out here. Believe it or not, we're like in the 60s, mid 60s out here. Like it's not as cold, but it was cold like last week, and now all of a sudden it's warm. The weather out here, it's a bit wacky, man. It's a bit wacky, but it's the fall. This is my actual first autumn here in South Korea. When I got here, it was just like the tail end of winter. Then I went through all of spring, and then of course one of the most dreadful summers I've ever experienced, ever here was in South Korea. But yeah, now. Again, I only had 3 episodes planned for this week. Just three. But I always say that there's always an option for a bonus show. Always an option. And it usually depends on demand. If people ask, hey, when are you going to do another show? Or just simply, if I just want to do another show, or there's a topic I just want to bring up. That's usually the criteria for bonus shows. But what I've been doing as of recent is that I've been rehashing some of my older episodes. And I'm talking like before TikTok, before I ended up going on TikTok. I've been digging in the crates for older episodes to turn into bonus shows for a TikTok audience. So this episode, for example, tonight we're going to revisit the topic of simping. No simping, right? I did this show back on November 3rd of 2023. It was I think 252nd episode, somewhere within that realm. And it came back as one of my Facebook memories. And that's what I've been doing, is that when they come up as my Facebook memory, I will sit there and be like, okay, well, I'm going to do that episode. And it was before TikTok. I'm going to rehash it for TikTok. So tonight, we're going to revisit the world of simping. Now, Simping is such a funny word to me. I don't know why, but simping is just absolutely funny, and it always seemed to apply when it comes to a man to a woman, but it's never really a woman to a man. Like, can a woman be a simp? That's also a question we're going to try to answer tonight. So tonight we're going to talk about simping, and we're going to go over some stories about simping and actual steps, behaviors of a simp, because you never know, you might be a simp yourself, maybe not. And how can we differentiate the difference between a simp and somebody who's actually like infatuated with a woman, right? But again, this always seems to be one-sided, right? How do we know a man is actually in love with a woman or falling for this woman, and how can we tell he's just being a simp? Now, the way I see it is that usually it's if the girl is out of the dude's league and the dude is doing all these things for her, even though she's friend zoning him and it seems like she's out of his league, it seems as if like, okay, you simping for this girl, she ain't paying you no mind, no attention. You're just like a doormat, but you're simping over this woman. That's usually how I see it. I always see it as a one-sided affair when it comes to simping. But again, we're going to find out if women can also be simps, because I never hear of a woman being a simp, like a simpette. Do you call a woman who's a simpette? Like, how does that work? But anyway, we're going to pop up with some information, all right? Because maybe one of you or all of us at some point, we simped over somebody. Maybe so. I feel like I did. I simped over somebody. But I'm not even going to hold you, all right? I'm as truthful can be. And I simped over people. I mean, yeah, it depends, right? Whatever the outcome is, I guess you could say, all right? So we're going to start off with some behavioral things. What exactly is a simp? And then we're going to go over the steps to determine whether or not you are a simp. Whether or not you may not know, you may inhibit some of these things that is going to make you think like, well, what the fuck am I doing? Am I a simp? Do I really like this girl? Is this girl like me? Am I wasting my time? Anyway, signs of being a simp. Now, what's a simp? It says the signs of being a simp includes placing the person on a pedestal, constantly seeking their validation and making excessive sacrifices of time, definitely money, or needs without reciprocation. In other words, you do all these things for this woman or this person, and you don't expect nothing in return. Not a damn thing. You gave her money, you gave her rides, you gave her presents, and you don't want nothing in return. That is one of the signs of a simp. Now, other signs, according to this, involve putting up with disrespect, defending them no matter what, and having a fear of rejection that leads to constantly chasing their attention. So you're seeking validation, because what rejection? You're not even with this person. And you're defending them. They could be cursing you out. They could be talking about your mom, everything. And you just defending them because you like them so much. That is a simp. Please don't be that. I mean, if you're going to let somebody treat you like a doormat, and then, you show all this love and affection and attention for somebody that's treating you like that, you're definitely simp. You are definitely simping, pimping. There's a difference between simping and there's a difference between pimping. Which side are you on? Now, I'm not encouraging people to go out there and go pimp shit. But, I mean, what side are you on? All right. So we're going to break this down. I got it pulled up here. Some of the behavioral signs of being a simp and some of the emotional and psychological signs of being a simp. I said pimp the first time. I actually simp. All right. So maybe some of you might actually be a simp. Maybe so. You just don't know it, right? Or you just think it's yourself, well, I like this girl. You know what I mean? What I'm doing for her is my business and blah, 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 blah. They used to call that like tricking at one point. So now you got simping, tricking. Is it all really the same? All right. Anyway, so behavioral signs to look out for of somebody who is simping, or maybe yourself. Number one, prioritizing them over yourself. That means you're doing everything for this person and they're doing nothing for you, and you're not doing anything for yourself. That you're putting them, as it described it the first time, you're putting them on that pedestal. So according to this, dropping everything to accommodate their needs or desires, even if it means ignoring your own. So it's like you put all of your stuff aside. You don't matter no more. It's all about this person at the end of the day. And this person ain't paying you no mind. So you're wasting all that time and energy towards this. You should be writing this down, because maybe somebody out there might just simply be a simp. Anyway, next behavioral sign to look out for is excessive attention seeking. According to this, constantly messaging them without response or doing things for them you wouldn't do for anyone else, not even your own mom. You wouldn't even do this for. So you go out all this way to do these things for this woman, and you wouldn't even do this for your mom. Flowers, candy, whatever, right? Things that you wouldn't do for anybody else is insane to me. How much effort a guy, because I'm using a guy for example, because I don't know any women who has ever simped. I'm sure it happens, but it's always on us. Another behavioral sign is financial spending. This is a very big one. There are guys out there that has spent a ridiculous amount of money on women that pays them no mind at all, no shot. But yet they're putting all this money towards them. It's like, what are you doing? Are you investing in pussy? Are you investing in hopes that this woman likes you? Wrong answer. Okay, so spending a lot of money on them in the hope of gaining affection. In this life, if you have to buy affection, that's almost like buying you know what. If you have to buy somebody's attention and time, that's a problem. All right, ignoring boundaries and disrespect. This is another one. And some guys know that they're getting disrespected. There's guys that know that they're being stepped on, but they don't care. The idea is that they are around this woman or person or whatever that gives them some time and day. This is literally low energy, low confidence behavior. Now, ignoring boundaries and disrespect, going as far as tolerating disrespectful behavior or allowing them to, quote, walk all over you because you fear their disapproval or rejection. So you feel like, oh, well, you know, if I don't let her treat me in a certain way or talk to me a certain way, she's not going to like me anymore. There's millions of fucking other people that you could go ahead and chase, but you worry about this one person, not to mention they're disrespecting the shit out of you, and this is perfectly okay. This is never okay. Never okay. And of course, the unreciprocated effort, persisting and trying to woo someone even after they show no interest. You know what kills me? I see a lot of guys on social media. They try so hard, you know, the poses, the chains and the clothes and the nice shape up or whatever. Who are you kidding? I mean, I get it. Some of us have a confidence level that is astronomical. Some of us are not as confident and sometimes wonder, what the fuck, how can I get that way? Listen, I don't try to be nobody. I can only be myself, all right? There are some tryhards out there. And if there's anything I hate in this world is a damn tryhard. I hate it. I mean, I get it. Maybe it's like, oh, well, you being a hater. Maybe so, perhaps. Whatever, right? But I don't know. Okay, so now some of the emotional and physical psychological signs of a simp. Okay, number one, the excessive need for validation. I mean, validation. You put everything, your foot forward, everything. You're just seeking to be validated. You're seeking for that 5 minutes of attention from the person you're trying to reach. So relying on the person for your self-esteem and feeling the need to constantly please them. Do you know how physically and emotionally and mentally that has, damaging that has to be, or taxing, to sit here and put your best foot forward? And this is not just on even any simping, this is just in life. Especially with social media, we put so much effort into trying to make people happy. We always seek validation. For example, you ever see those guys and gals that's on TikTok and they sit there and they're like, rate me from a 1 to 10 or this and that. Or you get those girls who know they're not that ugly, but they'll go on TikTok and be like, am I ugly? And they'll show a picture of themselves kind of in like an ass poked out pose. And I'm like, bro, what is wrong? Why do people need to seek validation on social media from complete strangers? If there's anything that social media has done, was that trying to make people celebrities. But social media didn't do that by itself. People have taken social media and turned it into a soapbox to become noticeable. And it's worked because, we got all these internet celebrities and personality types and content creators and all these different things because of social media. Thanks too. But when you're on here seeking validation, ladies, if you're on here seeking validation from guys, oh, how do I look? How's my hair? Am I ugly? Do I have too much freckles? Is one of my areolas bigger than the other? Why are you asking these things? It doesn't matter. Who cares? These are complete strangers who will never give you the time of day. Yeah, sure, they'll give you a like, but they're not going to ever give you the time of day, or you're never going to see these people. I never seek validation on fucking social media. Never. But you know what? To each his own. I can't tell people what to do. I just can't. Some people are just wired to it. They're wired to it. Okay, so again, another thing it lists on here was fear of rejection, of course, chivalrous and kind. Okay, let's go to the chivalrous and kind, okay? You know how they say chivalry is dead, okay? So let's say something like, for example, a guy holds a door for a woman, right? It's fairly attractive, whatever. Some guys will say, yo, that's a simp. He held the door for a woman. But what if he's just being polite? You know, there used to be a time where we lived where men actually did very nice things for women, even as far as putting their coat on the ground or over a puddle, which it was always weird to me. I never quite understood that. It's just so the lady can just not get her shoes wet, which she could have probably just walked around somewhere else, right? But it's whatever. But now, if you do that, guys will look at it as simp behavior. Doing nice things for women, like opening the door, opening something for her, or pulling her seat out, or holding the door for her is now considered simp behavior. Why? Why all of a sudden it's a simp behavior? Now, some people can attribute this to toxic masculinity. Some people might just see this as the sign of sign of the times. You know, women are more independent. They could do things more on their own. That guys don't need to sit here and go that extra mile to do this for women. I mean, that's either here or there. All right, that's either here or there. Now, all the little tidbits I'm going to read here, because it gives like little questions here. Before I really go down into the list and stories, because I have to pull up the stories too. Simping stories, courtesy of BuzzFeed. Should be a fulfilling episode. All right, so another question it asks somewhere on here in the Google search is, how do I know if someone is simping? Now, ladies, you probably might want to take a note on this because and you know what's crazy? Some women kind of feed off of this. They like the idea that a guy is drooling at their feet for them, whether it be simping or excessive admiration. So, how do you know if somebody is simping? Number one, multiple compliments on her appearance in rapid succession. How many compliments can you possibly give someone in a rapid succession? Man, your hair look good. Man, I like your shoes. Your ass is fat. You got some nice belly rings. Or how many of these do one person need at one point? Just pick out one thing, and then that's it. Don't sit there and be like, oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. No, too much. Also, double or triple texting before she replies back to your first text. Now, I know, I get it. You may text, oh, she's leaving me on read. Maybe she didn't get the text message. Or just simply maybe she's asleep. Or maybe she's at work, or she's doing something where she cannot text you. Just because somebody don't text you back don't mean they're leaving you on read. It just simply means that they might be busy. So if you're one of those guys or even gals, as I do believe that there are women simps out there, but it's mostly guys. If you're one of those people that text and you're getting worried about not receiving a text back, and then you start doubling down on texting, you keep texting. What are you doing? Are you okay? Are you okay? Can you hear me? Are you all right? Are you trapped in the well? Give it time. You're not going anywhere. Like, she's not going anywhere, or he's not going anywhere. Give it time. All right, so another sign, if you know if someone is simping, being overly available anytime she wants. That is a surefire way of getting taken advantage of. That means that you're telling her that you are available at any point in time, even though you may have a job, you may have to go to school. You are just willing to basically just drop everything and just go to this person at her every beck and call. Is crazy to me. And of course, publicly marking your territory if you are dating her. Publicly marking your territory, I guess pictures, social media, basically like, oh, we're together and blah, 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 blah. I mean, even though you may not be together, but you just gotta mark your territory. I mean, I think that's kind of weird nowadays. It's almost like when you're walking down the street and you see a hot woman with her man and he pulls her closer like, I'm gonna sit there and snatch her away. She's paying me no mind. If you're one of those people who walk down the road and you grab your man tight or you grab your woman tight, because somebody looked or whatever. Please stop that. Nobody wants your man and nobody wants your woman. So cut that shit out. I get it. You're like, nope, this is mine. This is mine. No, don't look. People are going to look. All right. You don't want people to look. Stay inside. Stay in the house. Stay in the trash can like Oscar the Grouch. Something. But people are going to look at you. That is just what it is. All right. So again, if you're passing by the show, we're talking about simping. We're talking about men who simp and even women that simp. There are people that believe that women cannot be simps, which I don't find to be true. I'm pretty sure. It may come off as really weird too, but, you know, again, it may not seem ladylike. You know, oh, you shouldn't simp for a guy. You shouldn't be at a guy's feet. A guy should be at your feet. I mean, this ain't fucking Cinderella. All right, so I'm gonna go over the list of. I pulled up a site here, lovepanky.com, and I wanted to find something that was more than just 10 signs of you simping. I got 28 signs that you're simping. All right, and maybe you may not realize it, but you may very well be simping. Francesi, what's that? Francesi. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Thanks for stopping by on the show and passing by. We're talking about simping. And whether or not you can be a simp, can women be simps? You know, again, I never heard of a woman that is a simp or simpette, but they exist, all right? So I've already went down some of the behaviors and stuff that they think is signs of simping, but I have a website called lovepanky.com, and it lists 28 signs that you're simping and how not to be one ever. Now, let me ask you guys, if you're passing by on the chat, is there anything wrong with simping? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it just really just somebody showing infatuation for a person, or it's a little bit too much? You know, back in the day, I don't know what they called it. Maybe being in love. They didn't really call it simping. I didn't start hearing simping until like a few years ago. It's one of those new fucking terms, I guess. I don't know. I'm boomer as fuck. But simping, believe it or not, this behavior, if we want to call it that, has been around for centuries. Guys for centuries have been trying to impress women the best way they can, whether it be fucking playing with a yo-yo, doing tricks or something like that, just to kind of get their attention. I mean, that could be simping. Maybe it might have been called something different back in the day, but it's called simping today. So again, people, this article was written back some time ago by Vin Sarai of lovepanky.com that gives 28 signs that you're simping and how not to be one ever. Starting with number 1. Okay, first of all, hold on. It actually gives a little history to the word simping. So look, I come to find out that this has been around for a while. I mean, we heard the word simpleton, okay? Simpleton. It could be somebody who is not very bright, not very smart, not very intelligent, not very wise, okay? So what is simping? They actually wrote this shit down. I'm excited to read it. So according to lovepanky.com, they said, what is simping? So the word has been around since 1923, although it's evolved since then. Now, at that point, it was shortened version of simpleton. Again, you probably heard it in those old black and whites and Three Stooges shorts, right? So which isn't exactly very complimentary. Oh, duh. Now then, in 2005, things took a turn and simp was defined as, a quote, a guy who tags along with hot girls because he thinks it will get him laid. I only heard the term a few years ago, but yet this somehow have been coined in 2005. So we're talking 20 years ago. The term simp has taken a turn for the worst. It's an acronym for, quote, suckers who idolize mediocre pussy. Wow. I didn't even know that. Again, the acronym for simp. A sucker who idolize... What'd you say? I'm a sucker who idolize over mediocre pussy? So are we talking... Are you saying something? Do you have mediocre pussy?
You idolize over my platinum pussy.
Okay, well, that's not simping then. That's abbreviated as something else. But according to this, suckers who idolize over mediocre pussy. Now, who knows? The guy could be idolizing over some platinum grade A coochie, or maybe over something so simple, just for the simple fact that the opposite sex is around him, and that is just enough of an attraction by itself. Now, It says we didn't come up with it. As you probably assume, today's definition has changed a bit. Now that the definition means, thanks Urban Dictionary, someone who does way too much for the person they like. So it went from guys hanging out with women to try to get laid to people that just have an over admiration for someone, i.e. trying to get attention, buying them gifts, and everything else under the sun. So a simp is someone who treats another person with respect and kindness only in hopes of starting a romantic or sexual relationship. In other words, a simp isn't being honest. So can we say a simp is a pimp? Perhaps. Maybe not the kind of pimp that our grandfathers used to be, but this guy, the simp, may have basically they're saying that the simp can have ulterior motives, that he's not being nice. He's just being nice to get the drawers, or he's being nice to get the number. Could possibly be. I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me. Hey, listen, we're talking about simps. Are you a simp? I'm reading over steps of being a simp. Can women be simps? If you're passing by the show, drop on the chat. Let me know what you guys think about that, And ask yourself, are you a simp? Now, of course, no one's going to answer yes to that question. And if you do, I truly applaud you for your brutal honesty. I really, truly, truly do. All right? So, a simp is someone who will act as a friend just to get into the person's pants. For example, a guy may pay for his female friend's ice cream even though they're friends, which is fine, but he does so only to make a move. Now, that's not always the case, okay? Let's stop for a minute. Let's back up for a second. I know guys that has girls as friends, and they buy each other things all the time. Nothing buying. There's no ulterior motive. Nothing of that nature. It's kind of like, yo, I got you. Hey, you want to spot me? I got you. Let me get you this, that. They ain't trying to do nothing more than just be friends, helping each other out. That is a thing, all right? Doesn't mean every time that a guy buys a girl something that's not his partner, doesn't mean he's always simping, all right? Maybe some people just being nice. Not everything has an ulterior motive, all right? Not everything. Come on, sometimes you got to look outside of the box. Now, and ask the question, is simping bad? All right. And if you guys are passing by the chat, you guys can basically tell me if simping is bad. Now, I'm trying to get my co-hosts and everybody on board with this show. They did say they were going to be on. And like I said, this show is going to end up starting by itself. And then everybody gets the message. I send messages and stuff like that. So if they get it, they get it. That's great. And I got Kate. Matter of fact, I just spoke people up and they just popped up. Shout out to Kate. Snow Bunny Kate, what's going on? Good morning to you. Welcome to the show. This morning, we're talking about a topic that I've done 2 years ago. We're talking about simps. I know you've heard it. You might have even dealt with simps, but we're going to talk about simping. It was a topic that I'm revisiting after 2 years, and we're going to go over simping steps. I already went over some behavioral traits of simping, and then also the question if women can be simps for men. Nobody ever talks about that. I think women can be simps. Maybe not to the degree of men. Because see, what this describes is guys just trying to get into the drawers. Now, do women, try to simp men to get into their drawers? You see what I mean? Nobody ever thinks of these things. All right, so is simping bad? Well, according to this, okay, Kate, you said yes, they can. Yeah, women, I think, can be simps, but I think the way they go about it is different. I don't think they're all out in the open and as aggressive as a man, right? Trying to either get into a relationship with the woman or just trying to have sex with the woman. I don't think women are that aggressive, but they have their little subtle ways of doing things. So is simping bad? Well, according to this Snow Bunny Kate, it says there are some things in the definition we strongly disagree with. Treating a woman with respect isn't something that should be frowned upon. Neither is putting your relationship first. Now, Kate, you said we are more flirty and yes, more subtle. See, I know guys are aggressive. Since the beginning of man, guys have been the one, even since caveman days where they sat there and clubbed the partner over the head with a fucking club. We have always been the aggressors. We are always the ones that are seen to step up first. It's always been portrayed of the guys that go after the girl, never really the girl that goes after the guy, even though we do see that a little bit more nowadays. Okay, so, however, no one, regardless of gender, should treat you as a doormat, nor should you allow them to just in hopes of them having sex with you. Now, again, there are guys and probably some gals that has taken all sorts of abuse just for validation from this woman or this man, which blows my fucking mind to me. I don't know how people can sit there and put all their time and energy into someone that doesn't like them or is taking advantage of them. The guy could be sitting there getting her gifts and buying her food, and she know what she's doing. The guy don't care what she's doing. He just likes the attention. Now, Kate, you said, I went after a guy. I locked my ex in my dorm room. Okay, you said you went after a guy. I locked my ex in my dorm room. That sounds like some really kinky shit. Let me ask you, Kate. So, Snowbuddy, you telling me, have you ever simped for a guy before? I mean, you did whatever it takes to get his attention. You bought him things. Let him treat you a certain way. Like, you know, like you said that women could be a little bit more subtle when it comes to simping. So let me ask you, okay, you said, yes, you have simped for a guy. Thank you. Because I never hear of a woman simping for a dude. It's always the other way around, because like I said, I know women do it, but they have their own little way of doing it. Okay, you said you simp for your ex. Okay, I was going to ask you, was it worth it? But simply it's not, because he's an ex. So yeah, there's no sense of asking that. But actually, no. Was it worth it at the time? Because even though you guys aren't together no more, which is understandable, but when you simped, did you know what you wanted? Was it worth it at the time? Okay, we know it's not worth it now, but okay, at the time, yeah, of course. We do a lot of shit in the beginning, and we find ourselves like, oh man, it's worth it, and come to find out it's not worth it. Okay, now being called a simp isn't doing anyone any good. If someone is allowing other people to walk all over them, it's everything to do with self-esteem and confidence. True. All right, let me see if I get Kate. I got you, Snow Bunny. What's going on? Good morning, lady.
Good morning.
Hey, welcome to the show as usual. All right, got Snow Bunny Kate in the house. He's one of our regulars on the show. Good to have you on there. All right, how you been? How's everything going? Everything's good?
It's been tough.
You don't have to get too into detail.
With the government shutdowns and everything else, it's been tough.
Yeah. I was speaking to a few people. I know a few people who got their stamps cut off, and you know, they were smart enough to have some of their stamps carry over. Like, they didn't spend all their stamps, and they got enough to at least get by for the new month and whatnot. So yeah. That sucks. But so, and I mean, have you gotten a hold of family? Family's been helping out or anything like that? Or
yeah, I live with my family right now, trying to get back on my feet.
Okay. Well, you got to start somewhere, and there's no shame in going back for help. I know me, my wife will tell you, my family would be our last resort. Like, I'm not the type to ask for help. I like to try on my own beforehand, and then if I absolutely need to get the help, then I'll absolutely just be like, all right, yeah, I need help. But there's nothing wrong with it. If you absolutely need it, you need it. All right. So, I mean, like I said, everybody's just kind of going through it right now. You know, everybody got their stamps cut. Hey, what's going on, Ace? Hey, shit, Ace, man. Damn, it's been a minute since you've been on this show, brother. What's going on? But yeah, everybody's going through it. Good morning. Yo, Ace Kitso, 15. I remember, I can't think of the last time you've passed on this chat or on this show, but it's great to see you this morning. Under a rock, shit, you were under a fucking mountain, because I haven't heard from you in a minute. But it's all good, though. It's all good. I'm glad you're on the show this morning. But like I said, like real quick, before I get back onto the topic, everybody's going through it. They said that they're going to redistribute stamps to everybody, but the problem is it's going to be a little bit slow going, and everybody's supposedly supposed to get only half of their stamps. For what it's worth, though.
Dumb.
It's dumb.
It's just dumb.
To me, it's unacceptable.
Like,
no, go ahead.
I get
you got
it. If you are able to work and you don't work and you're on food stamps, I get it. That is where there should be like lines drawn. Mm-hmm. But if you are like me, who is trying to get back on her feet with a child, then like there is a whole other issue.
It's a lot. It's a lot of an issue that most people can handle right now. Especially given the timing. Look at the timing. We're about roughly 3 weeks from Thanksgiving. What a shitty time to shut the government down. What a shitty ass time. And now they're speculating. And listen, this is speculation that potentially the government shutdown could go into the first week of December. If that's the case, because we got Veterans Day coming up, there's a Thanksgiving break, so Congress is probably going to not be there half that week, if not the whole week. And if they don't figure something out by the 15th of November, because I'm predicting, hopefully, that they reopen the government back up on the 15th.
It's not going to be till December that they're going to open up the government, pretty much.
Which means that Thanksgiving is going to be not so great for a lot of people, and that's the sad part. I've never seen anything like this, and I've been through 3 government shutdowns while being in the service, and I can tell you right now, this is by far the worst I've seen. But
Yeah.
hopefully,
Anyways, I talking about simping.
Yes, let's get back on topic. Yep, simping.
Ace
Go
and
ahead.
I have been friends for 23 years.
Okay.
And I remember Keep
Go
moving,
ahead.
please. I simped Ace.
Wow. So you simp for Ace? Look at you, Ace. I could kind of feel you blushing behind your little screen right there. Okay, so you simp for Ace. So it's safe to say that you guys dated, but you guys are now friends, pretty much.
We have been friends for 23 years. He was in prom. During prom, I let him know I actually really liked him.
Oh. So I mean, did you guys ever date, or just did it ever materialize?
At the time, no. He thought that I was too good for him, that I was going to find someone better than him.
Wow. Wow, Ace is just selling yourself short like that. Kate's fantastic, man. Like, you probably thinking to yourself, man, if I could go back in time, knowing her now, if I could go back in time, it'd be such an easier choice.
The funny part is now I did ask him out. But I have to wait for this divorce to go through completely in order to start dating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually did. I asked him if he would be my boyfriend recently.
That's not bad. See, well, you know what? Like I said, like I've been told before, finish what's on your plate. Once you finish what's on your plate and your plate is clear, hey, have a nice serving of Ace Kitso on your plate and make it everlasting. I mean, I'm just saying, like once it's all clear and done, sounds like a good dude, and it's somebody that you can trust and somebody you've known for a long time. So yeah, why not? It'd be like that sometimes. Friends can be more than just friends.
Sweet.
I'm just saying, I'm taking care of her.
I'm taking care of her.
I bet. Nah, let me stop. Let me stop. But no, that's good though. That's good. And you deserve that. You deserve that. You know what I mean? Like everybody deserves some love and happiness. Nobody deserves anything other than just that. So I hopefully everything works out. Hopefully everything works out. Okay, I'm gonna get back on topic. All right. Again, if you're passing by on the show, we're going over some little tidbits before I go over the actual signs. Now, I just came across something. One, simps are stuck in the friend zone, which more likely, yes. Simps, for the most part, never really make it to the next level, although some do. But I come to learn too that some guys make it out of the friend zone and then make it with the girl, because maybe the girl might be like, I don't know, I'll give him a shot. He's bought me all these things. Let's see what happens. I mean, are you really? That's not even wholesome. That's kind of like you're just being taken for a ride. But also, there's one thing, Kate. It asked the question, and that's the question we want to ask: are simps always men? Now, you said it yourself. You kind of proved that simps, or in your case, simpettes, are not always men. Now, according to this, there's no doubt that being a simp or simping can apply to both genders. If you go on TikTok, you see plenty of videos including women. So at least it's inclusive of both sexes, but we need to be honest about this with you. Now, the term is generally geared towards men. Sadly, it's geared towards the dated idea that men can only be nice towards women if they want to have sex with them. Now, do you think women can be nice to men just for the simple fact of having sex with them?
Oh, yeah.
I believe
People
so.
can
And
do whatever people want. And a lot of times it's to gain whatever they need.
True. There's a
It's
lot
to
of
do it to
users.
their advantage. That is
Right.
human nature.
That's what they're saying here. Like simps have ulterior motives. They're not doing this shit to be nice. Although, and it sucks that there are guys out there that really do nice things just for the sake of being nice. But everybody looking from outside in would just look at it as, oh, he's just trying to get some ass. Or he's just trying to do this. He's got just for simply holding a door for a woman. So you're telling me if I hold the door for an older lady who's in her 70s, I'm trying to beat that? The fuck? She's an older woman, and I'm being
So,
nice.
right, right. But here's the deal. A lot of people judge before they know.
Right. Which is
So,
true.
and I mean, Mary Poppins had a great song about that. It was something about looking in a book. Never judge a cover by its book song. I don't know exactly what it was called, but it's like something about never judge a cover by a book until you take a look.
True. But a lot of people aren't willing.
Oh,
People don't even open the book. They just look at the cover. They
right,
don't even bother.
right. So a lot of people, they think the words before they know what is actually happening.
Right. Exactly. They just everybody kind of looks from a window. You know what I mean? Not everybody can see or even take a second look. That's like in the military, right? When everybody sees the same guy and gal walking in uniform all the time, and I'm victim. I've done this too. I would think like, damn, are they together or something? And I know I can tell. You can kind of tell, but then they could just be
You can
really
tell
good
when a
friends.
girl is trying too hard.
See, so yeah, that's simping. That's simping as well. One thing I don't like is a try hard on both sides. To try to impress people, whether it be to try to get a gal or get a guy, or just simply just want to show off. I don't like show offs. I don't know why. I'm not a big fan. But this proves that women can also be simps as well. Are you all right? All right, so I'm going to read through the 28 steps as much as possible of signs that make you a
You
simp.
have your mom. It's okay.
Aww. So number
He
one,
just woke
chasing.
up, so he's a little bit all over me.
Yeah, it's like freaking 6 o'clock over there, right? 6 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah, it's
6.
6:49.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty
Get
early.
up.
All right, so here's the number one. Chasing someone who clearly doesn't want you. Now, let me ask you guys, have you ever chased after someone that doesn't want you? I've done that, but it was years ago. And this is before simping was what it is today. It says, firstly, where's your pride? Secondly, if you're doing this, it's one of the signs that you're simping. Why? Because if somebody doesn't want to spend time with you, what are you doing? Why are you doing everything for them? Now, Kate, have you done that, chase behind somebody that or just didn't like you, but you like them? Kind of
Yeah, in
simping?
kindergarten.
Okay, but that's kindergarten. You know what I mean? Like that's we're kids.
We learned that in kindergarten.
Yeah,
Think
but
about
kids.
it.
True, but I think it's an innocent attraction
It
in a
it's
sense. I don't know
it
if kids
is
know how to be a
innocent
simp.
to a point, but at certain age, even when we get into middle school, where it's Hormone Alley,
That's different. Maybe that's a little
we
different,
learn to do that at a young age.
but at a young age, it's uncontrollable hormones. It's not even much learning, more or less, just trying to fend off and cool your hormones down. We don't really know simping until nowadays this new generation probably called each other simping as teenagers and preteens and shit like that. That's a different generation. But those are kids just trying to control their hormones, more or less simping. But the ideology, I guess, if you're looking from the outside, is there. But chasing after somebody who don't like you is a lot of time, work, and effort for what?
It's a lot of wasted energy. Let's just put it
It,
that way.
it really is. It really, truly is. All right, number two.
Sorry, I've done that.
Well, I think we've all done that without realizing how bad it is chasing after somebody. We've all done it. I've done it. All right, I've done it. I've simped. You know what I mean? maybe at a time where the term wasn't coined the way it was, but now looking back at it as an adult, yeah, I guess you could say I simped. All right, and number two, you're always trying to impress. Yes, I don't. These people piss me. I don't know what it is. Always trying to impress somebody by the way you dress. I get it. You got to have a particular thing about you, and people are just confident. Maybe I'm not confident enough, but trying to impress is crazy. There's being confident and then trying to impress to a level of just absurdity. And then number three, putting yourself last. Like I said earlier, like there are people who put this person in front of all their needs and wants, and they concentrate all their energy onto this person. So they neglect themselves, and they put all of their efforts, money, time, energy into the person that they like or trying to get into. It says, sure, there's some situations in life where you should think of others and put their needs a little before your own. But if you're doing it constantly, you have to ask yourself why. It shows low self-esteem, and you need to focus on building that up and find someone who wants to be around you for the person you are rather than pretending to be something that you're not. All right? I've seen it on TV shows. It's sad. And there are people who are actually doing this shit. Women, too. You're not, hey, women, too. All right,
But a
next
lot
one.
of things that simping and part of the problem with simping is a lot of it can be drawn a line of into abuse.
Oh, abuse. Okay, explain.
Think about it. So you're having to be a person you're not, right? A lot of abusive situations going through a DV myself, domestic violence myself. You had to turn into a person you're not.
I mean, yeah, that's a healing trauma. You know what I mean? Try to erase the
Right.
person you was to being somebody that, yeah.
Just so that you can please the other person. And a lot of times that meant you had to literally simp them for a while.
You're right. I never looked at it that way because it's like the episode I did on catfishing. And I come to learn that catfishing, a portion of it has to do with traumas. Whether they were like teased or bullied or physically beaten on because of how they looked, and they had to become a personality, or they were just so lacking in self-esteem that they had to become a personality that they've always wanted to be, even though that's not who they are. So I guess, in a sense, with the simping thing, I guess there are people out there that just look just hopeless romantics looking for somebody that they're willing to do whatever it takes to get the girl of their dreams. Like we've seen the movies, right, where the guy is chasing after this girl that he has no chance with, and he's doing whatever it takes to be with this girl, and this, that, and the third. It was like this TV show me and my wife was just recently watching. What was the name of that show? Pretty Girl something?
The summer I got pretty.
Oh, the summer I turned pretty. That was the name of the show. It was a clear sign of somewhat simping, and it was a great show, by the way. But the premise was there. It definitely was there. Next one, you let people walk all over you. Yes, this is a bad one right here. Do you regularly let people you're trying to attract walk all over you? Let them say and do whatever they please. Like, I never, in whatever little bit of simping I've done, it never got to the point where I let someone do negative shit like that and say negative shit like that. I think, to me, that's crazy. All right, Ace, you said having a good man with allowing women and children to go first is an example of like, but not simping. Yeah. But see, Ace, that's what I was saying earlier. Even if you do a simple gesture as holding a door for a woman or opening the car door, that's simping. That's bizarre behavior, especially like, for example, if
No,
you're
that's not simping. That's just being a gentleman.
yes, and you're absolutely
Every
right.
girl wants their car door open. I mean, or every female wants her car door open. It's a sign of respect.
And chivalry. You know, the people say chivalry's dead, but at the same time, like if it's my own wife, I could be opening the door for my own wife, and people be like, "Oh, he's a simp because he's opening the door for her." That's my wife. What the fuck are you talking about? And even if she was just my girlfriend, who cares? Like like I said earlier, if I hold the door for a 70-something-year-old lady, I'm not trying to bang the 70-something-year-old lady. I'm holding the door for her because it's the right thing to do. She may not be able to hold the door. And I'm being nice. I ain't trying to get in that woman's drawers. That's crazy. But this is how people see shit, and you
Right.
can't be nice
You're
anymore.
a lot of times people forget what being a gentleman or being a decent human being is like, and then they try to put labels on that decency
Mm-hmm.
that we take for granted every day.
Some people are just also miserable. I mean, like looking from outside in, that's the first thing you
Right.
gauge. Is like I'm trying to bang the lady out. That's crazy to me. I never sit there and look
Right.
at it like that. It's just bonkers, man. It's crazy. All right, next one. You're submissive to women. As a sign of being a simp is that you're submissive to women. Now, according to this, do you find yourself being generally submissive around women? We're not suggesting you to come over all masculine, but why do you find yourself turning into a submissive mess whenever a woman is around? Sitting there, bending to her every will, beck, and call. I guess that's not me. And again, it says here it comes down to confidence. Some guys are just not confident, and that even if a woman gives them attention, gives them some sort of hope and confidence, but realistically speaking, you're not. That's not how you're being torn down and not realizing it, or you don't care as long as the woman is giving you attention. Now, A, she said, "I'm not doing it for myself or my needs." Exactly. If you're showing some sort of chivalry, you understand what I'm saying? You're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it because it's the right thing to do. And also, next one, your goal is to make her love you. You can't make somebody love you, right? Am I right, Kate? You just can't make somebody love you. You got to earn that. You have to. You think doing all these things for a woman or a man is going to make them love you any more than they already
So,
don't?
right,
Go ahead.
that is true. But so, like, my whole thing
Mm-hmm.
with that is when we were taught that our actions speak louder than words, and we're trying to show like how you should act to the
Mm-hmm.
man that doesn't care, then it just becomes very unhealthy and very like it could be. That's why I was talking about the abuse.
Right, right.
That's where that abuse sets in.
Mm-hmm. But I can't imagine you can't force somebody to love you. You like Ace, you said it
No,
yourself.
you can't.
Uh, According to this, right? Because this shit's ridiculous to me. Everything you do is geared towards making her like you back or even love you. That's all you want and all you can think about whether she's around. In fact, even when she's not around, is she really worth all this? She's just a person after all. You're an expert at putting women on a pedestal, and they don't really need to be there. Again, you put her on the pedestal like you put some guys put the woman that they're chasing on the pedestal that's higher than their own mama. No woman should ever be higher than your mama on any pedestal at all. You know what I mean? Mama was there first, but there's some guys out there that do this. And hey, she said it could become an obsession. It could be dangerous, downright dangerous. Like some people will go the extra mile just to get somebody's attention or to just be with them to where it can put people in real harm. We look at it as just simping, but it could turn into something a lot worse than just simping. All right, and then making somebody love you is crazy. That's not how any of that works. All right, next one. She doesn't need to do anything to earn your love. In other words, she doesn't have to do a damn thing to like you. It's like, oh, she doesn't have to. Like he could be like, oh, she could wear no bra, dirty drawers, and wear the same pants every day, and I will still love her. That's insane mentality. Just, for example, everything is effortless for her because you hand everything over on a plate. You don't even give her anything to work towards. You hand it all over with the slightest or without the slightest bit of hesitation. In other words, she don't got to do nothing to win you over. All she has to do is look in your direction, and that's all you need. No validation. She could be stank. She could be dirty. She could have a nasty attitude. She could have stink breath. It don't matter. As long as she gives you that time and attention, she owes nothing. All right, next one here. You defend and admire women. It says, now that doesn't sound like a bad thing. In effect, it's not, but you're not doing it for the right reasons. Admiring women is great, but you should do it because that one particular woman is someone you truly love and she loves you back. Now, as for defending women, you go for it, but only do it when it's necessary, not because you're trying to get into someone's pants. You ever see that guy, Kate, that defends women on every and anything that they do, no matter how good, bad, and indifferent?
See, I have a rule about defending women. Like, if you're in a relationship, you don't you let the woman say what she says in front of her family, but behind closed doors, you can
Mm-hmm.
tell her whether she's wrong or not. You defend her while with her family,
Mm-hmm.
in front of her family.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a problem with that, you just do it behind closed doors. You at least
Yeah.
let her know, hey, I didn't agree with this. I'm gonna go along with it because I'm defending you, but I don't agree with this.
Mm. Good point. Good point. But some people don't do the whole behind closed doors. They just want shit out in the open, just to kind of, I don't know, get attention or
I've been
something of
through
nature.
that. It's dumb.
I think most people have been through that in one way or another. And then when you look back at it, you're like, yeah, that was dumb. Now, Ace, you said don't lie to them, but you can't hold your tongue. I mean, sometimes with some people, and nowadays people can't take direct criticism or just anything direct. They want to do shit over text messages. They don't like confrontation. No, sometimes you have to be direct if you're going to get your point across. That way, it makes you feel like you took that burden off your shoulder. You know what I mean? Off your chest. Like you said, cloak and dagger is really stressful. All right. This next one, you're chivalrous and kind. Now, okay, earlier, hey, what's going on, Dragon Wolf? What's going on? Good morning to you. Today we're talking about simping. Men, women, yes, women, we found out can simp too. We're going over some steps to find out if you are a simp or if you know someone who is. And then we're probably just going to go into some simping stories. Now, this next one, Kate, this is what I was talking about earlier before you came on the show. I was talking about the difference between being a simp and being chivalrous. You know what I mean? Now, chivalry is now called simping, which is why people say chivalry is dead, because either guys are not as chivalrous anymore, or women just are more independent, or guys just don't want to be looked at as simps. Now, it says here again, there should be no issues here, but you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Be kind and chivalrous because that's a genuine part of who you are, not because you're trying to get someone to like you. So, guys, if you're holding the door for someone or pulling out a chair for someone, don't do it because you're trying to get with them. Do it because it's the right thing to do. It's basically what it's saying. Just do it because it's the right freaking thing to do. Let's see what else is here. Okay, now this next part of it, how not to be a simp. Okay, now the first one was categorized. We read those. Was it was basically the biggest signs that you're a simp. Now we're going over how not to be a simp. Number one, do not be her gopher. In other words, going to do everything for her, a pick me, a try hard. And as you said, now it's viewed like you're trying to get a date. Yeah, anything you do nowadays for a woman is like you're trying to pick her up. And I like the example I used earlier. I said, well, if I was opening the door for an elderly woman, does that mean I'm trying to pick her up? No, not even, not even. But number one, don't be her gopher. Don't be a slave to her every whim, especially if she doesn't voice them. One of the signs you're simping is that you drop everything for her. Stop doing this. She can handle life on her own. We know that. She's an independent woman, like you're an independent man. But she gets a kick off the idea that the guy is doing everything for her. And she knows this. Some women are that vindictive, and some guys are that vindictive too. Number two, don't crave her validation. Now, women on TikTok drive me crazy because this is all they do is crave for validation. Oh, am I ugly? How do I look? My ex don't like this. And please stop it, stop it, stop it. You said, but Gam Gam have some moves. Hey, listen, don't sleep on older women, all right? But I'm not holding the door for older ladies to find out what Gam Gam has in her ham ham. I ain't trying to do none of that. I'm good, all right? I'm good. Even if I was single, listen, I'm not trying to ride on that chuck wagon. All right, don't let her crave validation, all right? Because some women and even some guys, they feed off of validation. You see it on TikTok. You see the guys with the picture like this. You see the women flaunting their ass like this. How do I look today? Am I a 1 or a 10? Shut the fuck up. Like, why are you on here trying to validate yourself in front of complete strangers who don't give a shit? All right, yeah, you get a like. Like, this is what we live for. Some people wake up in the morning for likes.
Right, because then they get money. But in all honesty, you don't get that much money.
okay, money over dignity is crazy. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're putting yourself out there, it's like, OF, right? You're putting yourself out there. Yeah, you're making all this great money, but then when you look back at it all, it's like, now you don't got the body that you used to have, and now your picture and all that is on the forever net. Then what? You know what I mean? Your dignity over money, crazy. I mean, I
But a
get it. It's
lot
trying
of people
times.
do it.
They do. They do. This is a new form of currency. Jobs ain't hiring like they used to. Everything's becoming automated. Nobody wants to work. Nobody has work ethic. People rather just put themselves out there. This is no different than what I'm doing, I guess, right? But see, I'm not doing anything that destroys my dignity. I'm not sitting there putting myself in positions that I would not normally do. So I mean, yeah, people have no shame in what they do. People just want to be recognized. Everybody wants to be a celebrity in their own right, not realizing dealing with the consequences of being celebrities, because it's not all glitz and glamour. It can, there are a lot of bad consequences behind being a celebrity. There's more money, more problems. Also, number 3, finding out why you simp. According to this, what causes you to act this way? You can recognize the signs you're simping, but what pushes you to do it? Hello, you're trying to get some ass, attention. You're trying to get her to like you. Why else would a guy be simping? I mean, come on. I guess that goes without saying. It's pretty self-explanatory. And of course, cut out the behaviors if you want to get rid of. And also, don't be a try-hard or a too try-hard. If she don't like you, just let it go. If he doesn't like you, let it go. It's
Getting
not
rid
meant
of
to be.
behavior. This is a good point about getting the behavior part. If you're trying to get rid of behavior, it takes 30 days. It takes 3 days to create a habit. It takes 72 days to get rid of a habit.
Wow, that's some pretty good statistics. Never seen it that way, really. But it varies from person to person, though. You know what I mean?
Right, but that's the whole thing, and it takes 30 seconds to start a new habit.
I never seen it that way. I mean, I used to bite my nails for years. It took me years to stop biting my nails. I think I stopped biting my nails up into my
Not
20s.
doing it in the first 30 seconds that you want to do it, you stop the habit.
Wow. That's some pretty deep shit. I never really thought of it that way. That's actually pretty cool. I did not thought. Shit. My
I'm
last
actually
habit.
working on that with my nails right now.
Good luck. I used to bite my nails a lot when I was a kid, up until maybe my early mid 20s, and then somehow I just stopped doing it. I'm glad I stopped doing it, because me being in the military, I work with my hands. I come home, my hands are dirty. I can't imagine looking at my hands now and biting my nails. I couldn't even picture that. Now you said, how do you stop? Now are you asking me about the nail biting? So it just stopped one day. I don't know. I can't quite describe it. I just stopped one day, and then I just started clipping my nails. No trick to it. Like I said, some habits, some addictions can take some time. It depends on the person. You said, did it take 30 seconds? I don't know. One day I looked at my nails and I just stopped. I guess you could say it took 30 seconds or less. I was about to do it, and all of a sudden I was like, yo, let me just clip my nails. And I just never did it again. And I had to been either early, mid 20s. All right, so yes, don't be a try-hard. Definitely don't be a try-hard. Make them your number 2 social priority. Don't try to make the woman your number 1 social priority, because then you push all your other social priorities behind. Raise your standards. Please, look, we all have standards. One thing I hate is when people say, well, she's out of your league or he's out of your league. Well, how do you know that if you don't try? Yeah, you may not be the most attractive dude or the most attractive female, but how would you know? She might not even be looking for your personality. I mean, your looks. He or she might be just looking for your personality. Make them your number, raise your standards. Become obsessed with self-improvement. Now, I think that a lot of these guys and gals who are simps or simpettes, they have a lot to work with on their own. Right? There's a lot of people that just don't feel themselves. They're just like, yo, I'm beneath this woman or I'm beneath this man, Break the cycle. Break the cycle.
You have school. So you have to go to school. That is not an if, and, or but. So let's go. Thank you.
Also, don't be over chivalrous. All right. Yes, it's nice to hold the door, pull the chair. Don't overdo it. All right. Don't sit there and unbutton her jacket for her and brush her hair. Oh, let me take your shoes off for you. Or hey, let me hold it for you while I use the bathroom. Which would be kind of odd if you ask her, "Can I hold it for you?" That's another story. But don't be over chivalrous. All right. Just do the bare minimum. All right. Don't do too much. Also, distance yourself from the person you're simping over. Take a break. All right. See if this person really likes you, and you take a break from simping, and they ask for you, then maybe they actually do like you. But if you take a break and they don't respond to you, then obviously they didn't like you, and you move the fuck on. So, and yeah, Ace, you said be respectful, not a servant. Yes, be respectful. Now, when you find yourself doing a little bit more than what's on the job description, take a step back and think, all right, I'm doing too much. Some women don't like that. Some women actually don't like chivalry. They
Depends
like,
on like doing too much kind of thing. If it's because she is sick and she's not feeling well and you have to do more, that's one thing. But if the person is practically very healthy and can do it on their own and they're just bored of not doing it or whatever, then that's one thing.
yeah. I mean, some women are also just really independent. They don't like the idea. Some women actually out there want to break societal norms, especially of chivalry. They don't. Some women don't believe in guys holding the door and doing everything for them. Some women just want to do it themselves. That's perfectly fine. That just makes it a little bit easier for us. Hey, she says, some only want anything you can give. Yes. Yes, some women don't ask for much at all. Like when my wife and I first started, she was working a job that she was making more money than I was. And I did feel a certain way. I'm not going to lie to you. And all she expected, she actually stopped and had to talk to me. All she said was, yo, I'm with you for you. I don't care how much money you make or whether this, that, I got you. So I stopped thinking about it. I stopped obsessing with it because I was like, okay, this woman is not with me for me. I mean, she's not with me for the money. She's with me for me. Now, Dragon, you said, I don't like any of this. All sounds overanalyzing. It is for something simple. It really is, right? Simping. Okay, but that's the kind of world we live in. They take the little things like, you holding a door for someone as you doing something that is out of a norm. Some shit that has been a thing for years. It may sound like overanalyzing, but it is what it is what it is. All right, Kate. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by on the show. Of course, you're always welcome. I get it. You got to get the little guy to school. Hopefully he has a great day at school, and hopefully you have a great day yourself. And hey, stop by our show tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. We'll catch you next time, Kate. All right. So, Dragon, you said the labels are destroying it all. Yes. Labels, like even with people, race, ethnicity, labels. We're all labels. Everything has labels. And it is destroying a lot of things. It is literally destroying the fabric of just basic society. You can't be nice anymore. You can't do this for women anymore. This, that. You can't do none of this because, especially social media. Social media has made it to where things that you do is wrong. You can't, it blows my mind. For example, I think it was a story that I heard earlier. Some guy came on social media and they tearing his ass up. He made a post on TikTok of a woman who spent $27 on cupcakes for her son's birthday party with using her food stamps and made a big fucking deal about it. Why? I don't know. And he's like, oh, well, this is not what food stamps is used for. But the last time I checked, cupcakes is a nutrition. It's a food, right? It's something you consume orally. It's food. I don't know how else to put it. All right. So, that's kind of going in lines of that. Everybody got to label somebody as something. Like, oh, that's a deadbeat. Da, 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 da. All right, Dragon said 1980s was a campaign to stop stereotypes, and yet most fit a stereotype. You know why people hate stereotypes? Because there is truth to the stereotypes, but they are overly analyzed. For example, not all black people eat fried chicken. Not all white people love cheese. And not all Hispanics love rice and beans. These are stereotypes because there is truth to them, but overanalyzed. All right, and it puts everybody in a general. It puts everybody in one general pot. Where, let's say, for example, I don't like watermelon, and I'm not a big fan of watermelon. But they say all black people love watermelon. I don't like watermelon. But I do like fried chicken. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I don't like watermelon. All right, it's just what it is. All right, so don't fight for their attention. All right, don't fight for a woman's attention or a man's attention. It's tacky. It's tacky and it's sad. What do you get out of it? You get the one piece of attention and you think you struck gold. They just finally just acknowledge your existence and even might say hi to you. Who gives a shit? And then also, what do you like about this person other than their physical attributes? Now, a guy, again, earlier, it said something in the lines of a guy is really just trying to get into the woman's pants. Like, okay, let's say you sip it over this woman and she's got pow, pow, pow. Okay, that's great. She's got big everything. What else does she have? Can she cook a hot pocket completely hot? Can she sew? Can she knit? Can she write poetry? Does she water plant? What else can she give you besides ass and titties and all this other stuff? What else can she possibly give you? And Drag, you say it's creepish. Yeah, it's creepish. If you're just going for somebody's physical attributes, and listen, we're all human, right? Let's be real. It's one of those eye-catching things. But if all you're going for is the physical attributes and nothing more than just the physical, or even care about the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, you ain't gonna get too far. You're not gonna get far. So simping often happens because a guy likes how a girl looks and he wants to get her into bed. So what do you like about this girl that isn't physical? And a lot of guys cannot answer that. None. Or they'll just make up some fluff. Dog do dog things. Yeah, men are dogs. Let's be real. Men are dogs. Women can be dogs too. Woof woof, bark bark. What is it about her personality that grabs your attention? Now, by considering that, you'll be able to get to know her as a person, and maybe that will cause you to simply want to be friends. If not, it will push aside the notion that you just want to get into bed. Now, not every guy has an ulterior motive to beat the cheeks. There are some guys that simp over a girl just to have a girlfriend, just to be that person that is not alone. All right, that's like settling. You know, some people now, most relationships, I think, nowadays is based on settling. Because not everybody wants to die alone. Not everybody wants to be alone. Especially it's wintertime. You want to have somebody to snuggle up with. You might even settle with somebody just for the sake of. Also, set clear boundaries for yourself. Very big one right there. A lot of people don't do that. Channel your time and energy into something more productive. Instead of chasing this woman or this man, do something that will get your mind off this woman or get your mind off this man, because simps put way too much time, effort, and money into chasing after someone that don't like them. Also, pursue friendships and enhance your social life. Stop chasing after this woman. Go find some fucking friends. Go do something. Go play badminton or something, or go learn how to sew. Fly a kite. Play with a yo-yo. Who the fuck is playing with yo-yos nowadays? Do something that's going to get your mind off this woman. All right? Find what's more important in life. You think the key to life and the most important thing in life is to get ass and have sex with as many men and women as you want? Some people think that's life. It's not. Sex is not life. It's part of it. It plays a big role, but it's not all that's out there. Now, Drag, you said they allow themselves to get damaged. Yeah, absolutely. And you said start a podcast and see if you're interested. Brother, exactly. Everybody's doing it, right? Podcasting is free. If you are simping over a woman, just do a podcast. Get your mind off of things. Anybody can pick up a podcast, a phone, equipment, and just do it. Do something. Talk about something to get your mind off this woman. You know, especially, you have to ask yourself, if you're simping over a woman, are you in love with this woman? Or you're just infatuated by this woman? Or you're just, you just see certain physical attributes that's like, oh my God, I got to do this. The mind is a very complex thing. Also, find someone who is genuinely into you, because likely more times than not, the person that you're simping over does not like you, because you wouldn't have to go through so much to be with this person. You wouldn't even have to simp. It'd be simple. It'd be like, okay, this person just likes me. Boom. All right, Jai, you said, I know a guy literally out finding a woman because he can't be alone. And you know what's going to end up happening? He's going to settle. Anybody that's looking for a man or a woman because they don't want to be alone is going to end up settling. Because the longer it takes to find that man or woman, you're just going to be like, fuck it, I'll go sleep with a homeless person. As long as I'm not alone. Hell, I'll even give them a place to stay. At least I know I won't be alone because they need a place to stay and I need to not be alone. Don't find somebody because you don't want to be alone. Like, I get it. It's the holidays soon. It gets cold outside. It's winter. Nobody wants to be alone. But that's going to end up turning into settling. And then before you know it, now you're stuck with somebody you had damn near little or no interest in. Be a role model. Be a role model. Once you overcome your simping habits, you can be a role model for those who are stuck in the cycle. Like you said, Dragon, make a podcast. Make an anti-simping podcast. Make a podcast relationship podcast. There you go. Relationship personality podcast. Do something that will help others break the cycle. Please, just help each one teach one. All right, Dragon said, my love and I spent about 5 hours a day talking. Hey, listen, if you're chasing after somebody and they can spend all that time with you, then I guess it was worth the chase. But like I said, there's a lot of people who just want to be with somebody, just to be with somebody, just to get in somebody's pants, and who knows, right? Everybody got these weird motives. But yeah, talking 5 hours a day, some people can't even achieve that shit, either because they're too busy, they're at work, they're too tired, blah, 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 blah. Now, you said you've been with your lady for 9 years and only had 5 fights. My wife and I, we just hit 13 years.
14 years.
Okay, but 13 years married. Okay, 14 years together, 13 years married. And we never really had a fight. Actually, no, I wouldn't even say it's a fight. We had little bickerings, disagreements, yelling matches. But I guess essentially you could say they're fights. Not every fight has to be physical. I can't count how many fights we had, but it wasn't a lot. But we end up having these little disagreements, and then we I guess you could chalk it up as a fight, you know? Yeah. You said we were very good together. Are you guys still together? You said we were very good together. I'm not assuming anything. I'm not jumping into conclusion. I'm just reading as I go along. And then, of course, wow, yeah. My condolences to you on that. I do apologize, and my condolence to losing the one you love. I can't imagine that even happening. You know what I mean? I like to think that my wife and I are going to live forever, but we know that at some point that's not going to be the case, right? We can live together forever in spirit, but in the physical, let's be real, it's not going to be like that. But that's why you just cherish the time you got every day like it's literally your last. All right, so the last portion, I think this is it. It's time to change. Oh, okay, it's just like a conclusion. Basically said, you said she set an amazing standard. I bet that she has taught you and set things for you that you could take a lifetime. And I don't know whether or not you will get married again or whatever, or maybe, meet somebody else. But those things that she incorporated in you, you could bring along with you and live out the rest of your days with, whether you are with someone or not. So lastly, it's time to change. If you're one of these people, it is time to change. If you're nodding along to these signs that you're simping, then something has to change. Firstly, you might think we've been a little harsh. We don't intend to be, but when someone acts falsely in order to get someone into bed or fake a relationship, it's not cool. It's never cool. All right? Women are gentle creatures, right? Some women have hearts. They have feelings. They have emotions. Like, you can't just sit there and try to, manipulate them. And it's sad because as we speak right now, there's a woman being manipulated by a guy just for his pleasure. You know what I mean? He gets something out of it. And then there's some women out there settling and simping too. And they're out there just trying to get their shit off. I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. The dating scene out there is dead. And I am going to do a show on the dating scene in the 21st century because realistically speaking, it's rough out there. I'm glad I'm married. I'm glad I'm married because I can't imagine at my age being a single man trying to find someone in this day and age is a jungle. It's a fucking jungle. I can't imagine. All right, so we're going to go into this next portion of the show. I had some stories, some simping stories according to BuzzFeed before we wrap up this show. It seems like I'm flying solo. I don't have any of my guests or I have guests. I have you guys. I don't have my executive producers and co-hosts. I put the show out there. Everybody's got a busy life. Not a problem. I don't ever hold it against nobody. Believe me. I could do a show every day, I would. But even then, that's a lot. That's really taxing. It takes a lot of time. Hold on. Simping. Let me look up some stories. Give me a second, people. I did have some stories according to BuzzFeed. I like to source BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed, shout out to BuzzFeed, by the way, has been very helpful in terms of helping with the material that I have, that the episodes have. All right. So I think earlier when I was sitting here doing some research, I found, where is it at? Mansplaining. Simping stories, BuzzFeed. I seen this earlier. I'm trying to see where it is. There's catfishing. I already did a show on catfishing. I'm trying to find where the simping stories are. I'm trying to find where they at. Hold on. Give me a second. Funny simp stories. Give me a second, folks. I'm just trying to find something to help streamline the show a little bit. And again, Dragon Wolf, I do thank you for being on this show. Of course. Again, man, it's always a lot of fun having people that, is always on here regularly. Just come on the show and basically, tell their piece and stuff like that. Joke a little, laugh a little, things of that nature. Now, I did see some fucking simping stories. Hold on. Maybe it's not on BuzzFeed, but I came across something earlier. Simp stories. Maybe it wasn't BuzzFeed. Maybe it was something else. Give me a second, folks. Simping stories. Oh, boy. Let me see. Maybe I think I found something. Hopefully it's more than one story in regards to simping. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Nope, this ain't even pulling up anything. What the fuck? What is going on? When I was looking on my phone earlier, I actually found a story. Or stories. Let me try one more thing. Let me see something. I'm gonna have my crew be like, "Oh, I missed your show. What happened?" Blah blah blah. I was like, "Hey, I put the show out there. I put it out there. I gave you guys the time and everything." All right, so let's see. I'm gonna try one more time to see where was it that I saw the simping stories. I seen them shits. Simping. Hold on. Let me see. I think I might have found. I'm not sure. I think I might have found. Maybe not. Or shit. Maybe we may not even do stories tonight. Fuck it. I think it's pretty clear about simping. I guess I'll wrap up the show. Yeah, fuck it. I'll wrap up the show. It's getting late anyway. So listen, my last word on simping is this. All right. Again, I don't know. just don't do it. I mean, shit. Hey, Drag, I got you on the live right now, man. What's going on? Welcome.
What's happening, man?
You're pimping or simping. I mean, simply put, this is, it's crazy. I wish I had some stories. I did have some stories pulled up, some simping stories, but I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, man. Like, let me ask you, Dragon, have you ever simped for a woman before, other than your wife, God bless the dead, but have you ever simped for a woman before?
I don't think, maybe I don't understand it. I mean, because there is the idea of what I think a gentleman does act in basic regard, and he ain't going over and beyond because, oh my God, she's amazing. No, I kept that for the screens, those that I found very amazing and very interesting. But in the same token, I didn't go stalk her and find out about their life either or what they're about. The involvement, interaction, that's the key to everything. If you're trying to get somebody to go after you or do what you're on, to me, it's that creeperish thing. It's you're out there for what you want and not for what you're doing to share with somebody.
Yeah, you're right. And see, you grew up in a different time, cut from a different cloth. And 1 second, hey Drip, what's going on? Hey, I got my executive producer and co-host Drip on the show. We have been on for almost an hour and a half. We are almost just about done with the show, actually. But now that you join on, we can rehash and go back to what was missed. I got Dragon Wolf on the show. He's live on the air right now. We went over the list of signs of simping, how to stop simping, and whether or not women can be simps too. We come to find out, yes, women can be simps. We had Snow Bunny Kate on there. She gave me an example of her at one point when she simped over her ex. So we come to learn that women can be simps too. right? But no, Dragon, what you're saying, like I get it. Like when I was saying earlier about guys doing very nice things for women, even basic simple things, don't even gotta be very nice. They're labeled as simps. Like, you know, that blows my mind. Like if I open a door for my wife, I'm a simp. This is my wife who I've been with for 13 years married. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now, Drip, you said it's a self-esteem issue. It sure is. Because the people that normally call guys out for doing these things, like, you know, being nice to their wives and girlfriends and shit, these people got self-esteem issues. But those who are simping definitely has self-esteem issues. I mean, going
Also,
far and beyond.
ego, because
Ego.
on the other side of that, think about it. It was like, oh, I got game. I can pull anybody. They're all on me. They're just swinging on my nut. They are, oh, I can have any guy I want. Literally, an ego is fed. That's fed that kind of an attitude.
Yes. That goes back to tryhards, which was one of the things I read on here. Tryhards or dudes that are overconfident, yeah, they to me, I think are simps. The guys with that most confidence, yeah, they don't see it that way because when you look at a simp, it's somebody that it has low vibe energy and they have no confidence. No, the confident guys are simps too. They go far and beyond and dress up and some people don't see it that way, but yeah, simps come on all different levels of the spectrum. Now, Drip, you said I be buying friendships and love. Now, okay, you said if you're buying love, yeah, that's so long. Okay, that's simping. Oh, if you're buying love, yeah. If you're sitting there, or what they call that, dragon, tricking, right? You're sitting there buying her a bunch of gifts and taking her out places. That could, yeah, they used to call that tricking, but that's simping. It's one and the same. It's damn near the same damn thing. You know? I
Yeah,
mean, what's your take
I
on it?
think I think the line's been blurred, man, because I literally have always tried to. I enjoyed the beauty and the wonderful with my partners to show them everything, to do all that I
Mm-hmm.
could, not because of anything other, but I cared enough for them that to bring them into a world that I could show them. It was just that's what love was to me, trying to get on the same page and do things together because that's what the direction you were going.
Exactly. Exactly. So I mean, like, but nowadays, and I totally agree. The line is definitely blurred now. You know, what I mean, you can't even be a man no more without somebody criticizing you. And I don't give a shit when anybody tells me in regards to how to be a man, because no one can tell me how to be a man. Not even my own dad can tell me. I'm 40 years old. I think I got it quite figured out already. Hey, Michelle, what's going on? Good morning to you, of course, out of the Sunshine State. We got Michelle on the chat. Tonight we're talking about simps, guys and gals going the extra mile to try to win someone over, even though it ain't helping them one damn bit. I got Dragon Wolf on the live right now in the box, spreading a little bit of wisdom, giving us his 2, 3, 4, 5 cents, $5 on the
So
topic at hand.
you couldn't find a story, right? You couldn't find a story, but I do have one for you. And it come off on something, and it turned into whatever it was going to turn into. But it was when I was doing my Santa, which will return. But a young lady just fell all over me. Wanted to be
Oh,
part of it. Wanted to do it. Everything seemed to be talking well, but there was no longevity. Once reality started hitting, once things were, the part that, oh my God, you're not just Santa. She was fall in love with the idea of being with Santa, and when I wasn't Santa, that all
what the
fell
fuck?
apart.
Well, that's what the fuck? Are you serious? So she fell in love with your character as Santa, but as soon as you took off the costume, she didn't know who you was. She was like, "I don't like this."
It
That
started
sounds like
falling apart.
it sounds like some weird fetish that she kind of has, some sort of
Sure,
Santa fetish, or just
but
I don't know.
that's where it leads into it. That's where it is. Because if you get sit there, they fall in it with what they're calling the simping. Oh my God, this is amazing. It makes me feel amazing. And
Yeah.
that's where it doesn't last, or it turns into stalkership.
No, see that and then earlier I did say something how where simping can simply be simping and turn into some real stalker shit because you got some people that fear being alone more than they fear death itself and will do whatever it takes to either settle with this person or get this person to love them, which is extremely dangerous. You can't force somebody to be in love with you. You can't buy love. You understand what I'm saying? If a woman or a man is with you because you got money, wait to the day where you don't have that money no more, and then see if this person's going to stick around with you. Then you'll know whether or not this person really loves you, which most of the case it won't be. So, I mean, my wife, like I said the story earlier, you know, I was at a breaking point where I was just embarrassed by the idea she was making more money than me. And she sat there and told me straight up, like, I'm not with you for the money, I'm with you for you. And then the rest is history. Now we're still together. And Drip, nothing blacked out. We have a steady stream unless it's on your end. Our screen. Okay, you said it's a bad connection. Okay, yeah, we're riding high over here. We got nothing going on. But you said the weather is bad on your side. Okay, so that might be the case. But so far the show's good. It's riding pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. I think just the times have changed. Women are more independent. Guys are a little bit more reserved about women being independent, so they feel as if like they don't need to do like chivalry. You know what I mean? Now let me ask you, Dragon. Aside from simping, do you think chivalry is dead?
I think that it's not recognized anymore. I think there's quite a few that still carry it, that they think holding doors for elderly or women or anybody is weird. The decent that you have as a person who pay attention and share and be a decent person, it's all been made weird. It's like, why would you do that? I don't know, because being a nice person doesn't actually hurt.
Yeah, we turn being good into something bad. Like, it's good to be rewarded for bad behavior, but not recognized for when you actually do something good. Like, again, holding the door for an older woman and helping an old man cross the street, like that's not recognized no more. Now all of a sudden, people think you have ulterior motives, like, oh, if I help this man across the street, I'm helping him so I could go rob him. That's kind of like how we see shit nowadays. We don't see it as, we're just helping this person out. It's like, oh, he might try to rob that guy. He's just helping him across it. Because you don't see that anymore. When's the last time, Dragon, that you've seen a young person help an elderly person cross the street? I bet you it was like
does happen. It's rare, and usually it's in small communities where they've grown up kind of together. That they do have some youth that do have that understanding, because they do care. They think it's the proper way to do things. Unfortunately, that is, I've seen the same thing where a guy in a walker is trying to go to the door and watch the young guy just walk right through and stuff and don't do nothing. And I step back, open the door for him, because it just made sense. That a gentleman with the walker can't hold the door. Like, I ain't got time for that. And they just zip right away and stuff. Life's gotten too fast to where the things that kind of matter, they're put on the back burner. They don't mean anything. I got to get my piece. I got to hurry up. The world is to be taken. I have to have the world. And they end up in a freaking what's going on state.
I agree. Not to mention, the world is not only moving faster, but our eyes are always on a screen. I feel like this generation is going to have serious neck and back problems by the time we're done, because we're not paying attention to what's in front of us or in our 360. We're paying attention to what's in our 45 degree, as in looking down at our phone and not paying attention to shit no more, and letting social media dictate to us what's good and what's bad and what's corny and this, that.
Remember that.
Oh, hey, listen, I preach it every damn day.
You're always on your phone.
Yeah, I'm always on my phone, but at the same time, oh, that's bullshit.
You're always on your phone.
And what are you doing? You're always watching Fire Country or whatever the hell you were just watching, or you're watching NCIS with Gibbs.
I was playing Township.
Oh, but you're playing the games. Yeah, you're on your screen too. 14 years, people. 14 years. That's what 14 years do to you. Right there. That's what 14 years do. But yeah, Michelle, let me ask you, if you're familiar with the word simp or simping, right? Hey, listen, I'm just saying, not everybody's familiar with the lingo and shit like that. I ain't assuming. But what is your take on simping? Is it simping? It's like doing shit for women and men, chivalrous things, simping, or what is it? You said nope. Okay. See, you got like if you're from the old school, you're cut from a different cloth. You believe in chivalry. You believe in pulling that chair out for somebody and opening car doors. You know, I remember one time I opened a car door for my wife and people looked at me like I was crazy. Or, for example, my dad told me the story where it wasn't even Valentine's Day. And he was on the bus. He told me the story. He was on the bus with a bouquet of flowers. And a guy on the bus didn't even know this dude was like, yo, you must have fucked up with your missus, right? You got flowers and everything. And he's like, no, I'm buying flowers because I love my wife. It's crazy. Like, some people just jump to conclusions about shit. It's kind of like, oh, well, yeah. And Uncle, what's going on, man? What's going on? Good morning. You said, don't stop doing the right thing because people are looking. I was always taught in the military too, always do the right thing because even when no one is looking. Like, again, people have let social media dictate to them what the fuck is right, what is wrong, and shit like that. And people are following that. But again, it's good that there are some people that hopefully from a different generation, cut from a different cloth, is passing down those rights. You know what I mean? Generations down the road. But we're slowly seeing that society fade away. Now, Drip, you said, I'm a simp. You said, because I feel like I ain't shit, but just a lot of trauma. Don't say that. Don't say that. Believe it or not, you're worth more than what you may think. When you're looking at it from eternal, but there are people out there that see you more than just your trauma. But that's also because they don't not only know your trauma, but there's something about you, a particular aura that they see and they like. So I would never say that, you're just that's you, because you wouldn't be who you are if it wasn't for certain things. You wouldn't be who you are if it wasn't for these traumas. It made you a lot stronger person. I'm sorry, Dragon, what you're about to say. I'm talking too much.
I think I think part of what is people are simping on the trauma. I've literally seen lives that you're going through, and that's all they do is cycle through each other's trauma. It's become a thing. And I personally find it very, very, very uncool and not productive in your own existence at all to just continue cycling around the trauma and stuff. But there are people that have to have that trauma, and they have to compare it. They have to share it. They have to, like, oh, this is what it is, and you should validate me through that trauma. And it's not cool. I find it very rough.
Yeah.
Nelly, welcome into his show. Nelly's a very good spiritual friend of mine, just so you know. I'm real live, but she come in to say hello.
Hey, welcome, Nelly. Welcome to the Daily Mind Podcast. Welcome. Your guy here, Dragon Wolf, is an excellent dude. He found me some little bit of time ago, and, he's always here, always spreading a good word, always clear and communicative when it comes to the topic. And yes, hello, beautiful soul, to you as well. And Michelle, you said to me, it looks like a victim mentality. Yeah, if people take their traumas on TikTok, weaponize it, and monetize it, or at least try to monetize it. I will never sit here and try to monetize off of somebody's trauma or even mine. I don't sit here, like I said, TikTok, the little bit of money I will make from gifts doesn't barely put gas in my car. And that's not while I'm on this show, is to make money. I'm on the show to spread a word. You know what I mean? I used to be a quiet, shy, reserved dude. Like, I couldn't even look people in the face. The idea that I could sit here and speak to dozens, if not hundreds, of people at a time is amazing in itself. That's why I'm on the show. Everything else is secondary. But yeah, that drives me crazy when it comes to people on TikTok. That's why there's some lives that's just unbearable to watch, and then there's some that you could sit there and really, really watch and listen to and vibe to, something that is not trauma based, because that's all you get on here, especially with this whole food stamp talk. That everybody's talking about. That to me, everybody has weaponized that and turned it into a shit show on TikTok. I'm just saying, it just drives me crazy. And yes, Drip, absolutely, it's a beautiful thing to be alive and never take advantage of it. Treat every day like it's your first and your last. A lot of people like to say treat your every day like it's your last, but we never want to treat it like it's our first, because more than likely it'll always be like your first day. Not really your last, but you never know. So you have to treat it as both. Drip, you said people need to get comfy getting help and going to food banks. Yeah. Right now, food banks are overdone right now. They are having a hard time with the demand and everything
Yep.
else in between. It's bad out there. It's really bad. Now, some people they said they're releasing food stamps, but everybody's not getting the full food stamps. They're getting like 50% of food stamps. They're not getting all of it, and it could take up to at least a week or 2 weeks. It's crazy out there. Um, but definitely, I guess we at this point in time just show a little bit of compassion. You know, I know I'm going a little bit aside of the simp thing. I think we covered a lot of simping. You know what I mean? I think we've kind of crossed it quite a bit. But as far as like, you know, the trying times, food stamps, and everything, yeah, definitely be a little bit more compassionate. I was telling you, I think I told you the story, Dragon, of the guy that made a big deal about a woman who bought her son $27 worth of cupcakes with food stamps, and he
Right,
lost his
right.
shit. Yeah. He made a whole post about it, and the internet is tearing him apart because he's coming off as tone deaf, inconsiderate, inhumane, you know, things like that. I mean, listen, if I was a single single father or whatever, and my son or daughter wanted to have cupcakes for their birthday, and all I got is $50 in food stamps, or just food stamps in general, I'm buying them cupcakes. No kid should have to suffer what we're going through. They should still have some sort of a childhood, or at least the best of a childhood. You know, that shit was just kind of
There,
crazy to me.
there is the whole thing, right? And part of that is there's those out there that all they do is look for something to attack. We know that, right? And whatever
Absolutely.
happens to him, good for him that he opened his mouth and talked sideways. One of the things that I saw that they did that I actually agree with is they've taken like soda off the food stamps, from what I've heard. Okay,
Mm. Mhm.
things that are becoming unnecessary for survival are being taken off, and that's good because I've seen firsthand how people will literally use it for anything other than feeding their family. So the guidelines have to be there. What would you deprive a kid over their birthday cake or their cupcakes? You got to ask, what kind of person are you then? That they're going to
Mm.
try to. I sat there and for Candy's friend made cupcakes for her freaking school because they asked me and I could.
My
Okay,
hand's cool.
it's a matter of what nice thing that you can do in the world. Why not? You know, and it is why always junk food? Why not freaking actually have actual food and learn to cook? These are what the programs were supposed to be, to teach you to be able to survive in your rough state and then hopefully get back up of it, not be used for a constant state of struggle.
Mm. No, I agree. Now, here's the thing, though. You gotta you gotta ask yourself who put these rules about the food into place. It was the government themselves. We did a show not too long ago, about a week or so ago, on the whole SNAP program, and there was stipulation onto what you can buy. There was limitations and stuff like that. But now they made it to where you can buy whatever you want. Plus, not to mention, the argument is also that people have said that it's cheaper to buy junk food than it is to buy healthy food. Now, if you go to your supermarket, I don't know what supermarket you go to, there's kind of an imbalance, but at least try to eat healthy. You know what I mean? But then if you try to tell somebody what to do with their food stamps and their money, then you're pocket watching. People are like, well, I can do what I want with my stamps. Stop pocket watching me. It's mine. Nah, 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 nah. And I'm just like, okay, well, you know what? Whatever. But no, I agree with you. And I think it was Texas that I think either tried to pass it or they may have been successful in it, you know, in terms of what, like, junk food is excluded, sodas and things like that. I think it was Texas was one of the first states I remember that were trying to do this. And yeah, Key's family, what's going on? Good morning to you. Yes, organic food. We all know organic, gluten free, just anything that's healthier is more expensive. And it's also because there are processes that these foods have to go through in comparison to processed junk food. It takes a little bit more money, I guess, or subsidies that make organic more expensive versus junk food. It's a whole
It, it
production.
it goes back to skill though too. It really
Hmm.
does. All
Yes.
people got to do is really look at the what the oatmeal takes, and you can make oatmeal. What the bags of beans, bags of rice. And I literally have rice and beans, and that's what I'm cooking at the state because it is. It's very cheap to do. It's very able to do it. So it is what you can do. People don't want to invest in the time. Grab it quick, be able to
Baby,
eat it,
I
and
want
go.
the move. Are you little calm?
If somebody else can make the food and we can just grab it and eat, I see it all the time. That's all they want. The quickest thing that they can get, that you're able to grab it, eat it, and go and be done instead of actually. Yeah, she said, I love all day soup all day. There's things that you can have that is very cheap, but it takes that time. Time is not the cheap part, which people are not willing to give up. Yes, frozen's easy.
Yeah, but see, also too, the government has made it to where now you can get whatever you want, and people have sucked that nipple so dry to the point where there's no turning back. If you were so used to buying all these other foods, they're not going to go and resort to simple staples. They're already used to sitting there buying this, that, and the third. And plus, again, the government allowed it. So, I mean, the government could have easily capped the type of food you could buy, but they never did. And now it gotten out of control. But also, real quick, the one thing I've come to learn on TikTok with this whole government shutdown thing, I think it exposed the people who really don't need these food stamps. Because there are people who are on there cursing everything out. Like, oh, if they cut my stamps off, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I'm like, well, let me ask you, do you really need these stamps? Because you sound really pissed off. And you have a right to be. But I feel like it's exposing people in terms of who really needs these food stamps. And we have to stop this thing real quick too. Not everybody on food stamps is sucking the system, as they put it. There are people that legitimately needs food stamps. There's disabled, there's special needs, there's elderly, wounded veterans, and not to mention able bodies. But these able bodies have to work.
Yeah, and maybe the guidelines, as you're saying, definitely make it hard to come up. I watched a woman with 4 children. She was getting help. She was by herself. She was working, but she could only work so many hours, and the job kept asking her more hours. And she said, I can't. I'm trying to find the balance. She literally had to walk away from a good job because she couldn't work overtime and cover what she could to take care of her kid. So the guidelines do make it harder to try to find that balance.
And it does, because it's like if you make too much, you no longer have the assistance. Oh, thank you.
It's coffee.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, if you make too much, you're going to get off. They're going to be like, you don't need these damn stamps. You know what I mean? And then finding time between family, the balance, and everything else, it's insane. It is really, really insane. And all I can say is like, hey, if you can help somebody, help somebody. Because I tell you right now, even military, and I'm in the military, I know military members that's on SNAP and WIC right now. Right now. So think about that. You're getting your regular pay threatened, and then now your SNAP is gone. Like, there are people on all levels that are feeling this right now. And Key, you said what they think making too much is whatever they feel they're not making enough off of. If you're making too much,
pretty much.
You're basically, you're making too much, you're taking away from their bottom line. Because to me, this whole thing, and this is just me, is nothing more than just one side trying to pocket some money. Now, again, the argument I heard is that the Democrats they're trying to fight for Obamacare to be affordable, raise premiums to help pay for Obamacare for migrants. At least that's the Republicans' argument. And Republicans see this shit. And now you got these two blaming each other. I think personally, before we move on to something, like before we wrap up, I think personally this is just a setup for the 2028 election. So when they go back to this particular year, they can go and be like, well, don't vote for Democrats because they're the ones that shut down your shit a few years ago. Or don't vote for Republicans because they kept shooting our shit down. And then, man, either way, I got to wake up in the morning. It don't matter what the fuck is going on. I still got to go to work. Don't matter to me. Don't matter to me at all.
There's a whole lot of, and one of the things, because we know it's rough to get political. People get all sides on whether side this or that, and my stance on that is you can actually track it back to who's doing what. Like you said, they're setting up for the future. They're trying to get what they're going to do, and quite honestly, the whole reason the state of everything in this country is because we allow it. We cannot get together and say, this is what we agree on. This is what we want our government to be. This is what we want to do. We're too busy fighting among ourselves and keep buying into crap that they tell us.
It's by design. It's meant for division. All this is doing is creating division, and it's working hand over fist. And we're just falling for it. Look on TikTok alone. If you don't think there's division, just look on TikTok. Oh, Key, hey, thank you so much for stopping by on the show. And you have an even better day yourself. Thank you so much for stopping by. Um, we'll have a show tomorrow as well. We actually got a fun show tomorrow lined up. So we'll put the notification for you. And thank you, Nelly Spirits Reading. Hey, people, everybody follow Nelly Spirits Reading. I haven't dug into her page, but I can tell you right now, actually, you sent me a follow. I got to send you back a follow because that's how that works. But we definitely will be diving into your page. Also, my co-host Drip Too Hard, Jasmine, we'll also be checking out your page too. Everybody give her a follow though. Definitely, especially if you're looking for a good word, positivity for once. You know what I mean? We're all around this negative. Definitely give her a follow. And Drip, you said adulthood is the worst hood ever. It doesn't have to be though. Adulthood is kind of what you make it, but also it becomes some things that's out beyond your control. We can't control our adulthoods completely because life happens. You see, one day you get a job and then now you don't have a job. Now you said no one wanted bills though. No, I mean even the rich got bills. Maybe not like we do, but they got bills too. Everybody's got bills in
Hey,
some
and
way, shape, or form.
I'll say so, as a former criminal and someone who did time, if life's too rough, they give you 3 hots and a cot, and you can just live in a very stagnant state, and they'll take care of you if that's the low key that someone wants to go, that they don't want to care, and they don't want to try, and they don't want to love. You ain't got to do this out in the world. You can get rid of all your bills and go sit in the freaking joint and not do shit.
Let me tell you something. I'll take your advice because I'd rather go through struggles as a free man than to sit pretty with 3 hots in the cot as an incarcerated man. Believe
Absolutely.
that. Believe me. I will take that any day. Where people think that they got it hard, you got to think life is a hierarchy. Where you think you got it hard here, there's somebody that got it much harder up here.
Yep.
And then somebody that got it harder there. What's up, hon?
Look, this and you call and OUPP.
Okay, I'm about to wrap up the show anyway.
Yeah.
I am. It's getting late. It's getting late. But no, Dragon Man, if that's not some of the best advice I heard all day, that's it right there. And I mean, honestly, I'm not saying that everybody should settle for what they're going through. All right, I get it, but you can always be in a much worse state. And there's only so much you can do. And hopefully in this particular time and season of giving coming up, hopefully everybody is not only more grateful, but much more helpful. Because we're all like basically one check away from living inside an Amazon box. And a lot of people who sit there talking crazy shit about food stamps have no idea that, yeah, you're sitting high and mighty. And you know what's crazy, Dragon? I bet some of these people who are denouncing these people about food stamps were probably on food stamps themselves. They just got to a position where now they're like above the rest. Humble. Humble. All right, folks. Before we wrap up this show, I know this episode was about simping, but you know how this show goes. It can go on many tangents. And Drip, yes, we all started from the bottom. Believe me, I started from the bottom. I was born, grew up in the projects. My mom unfortunately passed away. My aunt took me in, and I was in a more, in a better spot and to where I'm at today. All right, but anyway, Dragon, definitely have a good day yourself, brother. Thank you so much, man, and I appreciate your word and wisdom. And also introducing us to Nelly as well. I'm going to dig a little bit more into her page as well. So before we wrap up the show, because I think, we're done, and we just finished up at about almost 2 hours. So first and foremost, I definitely want to give shout out to Drip Too Hard, a.k.a. Jasmine, my co-host. Dragon Wolf, thank you so much for stopping by the show. I'm scrolling up. I remember some names, but not everybody. Keys family, thank you so much again stopping by the show, spending a word or two with us. And Nelly's Spirit Readings. We can always use a reading, some sort of insight, some sort of outlook to what can be and what may happen. Some sort of an idea. Shout out to Nelly for that. Also, passing by the show, I'm just kind of going up a little bit because I know Dragon was on here for quite a bit. And then, I can't go any higher. And then anybody else who may have stopped by on the show, thank you so much for stopping by on this bonus episode of Simping, right? I mean, again, my final word on simping, don't do it. Don't do it. You're worth more than what you think. You don't have to settle for less. You don't got to settle at all. Just because somebody doesn't, you feel like you don't get love. I didn't believe it at first either. I didn't believe that, there was somebody for everybody. I didn't believe that shit until I believed it. And you know what? Now I'm with somebody. That there is somebody for everybody. You'd be surprised. But you should not have to settle. You shouldn't have to simp. You shouldn't have to take bullshit from somebody just so that you could feel loved, because that's not love. That's a defeatist attitude. That's just basically settling because you just don't feel yourself. It's all within. It's all the confidence thing. It is all within. Figure that shit out. All right. Hey, Drip. Matter of fact, how's your day starting so far? I know you caught the show late. It's not a big deal. Time is just all over the place. All over the place. Sometimes we get up and it's 2026. It could just be like that. You said we learn from you. And hey, I'm not the one all teach all. We learn from each other, right? I'm just a man of insight, a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of gray on my head. And I'll be honest with you, I never experienced a lot, but I've learned a lot based on observation. And I sit there and I try to, complex it up or whatever. And, we learn together, right? I'm not the one all person. I don't think I'm on here trying to be a Nostradamus. I know everything. I don't know shit. I'm learning as I'm on this show. I learn every day. Simple things, Google searches, research. I learn every day. But we all learn together. You know what I mean? So, hey, how's your day going to look so far? I know you said kiddos are going to probably go to school, stuff like that. What is your morning looking like, Miss Drip? I can tell you my day was good. About to go to bed soon, of course. All right, you said heading to take one to school, then off to work. I hear that. Oh, shout out to Michelle. She was the other one, speaking of work. Shout out to Michelle, Florida, from the Sunshine State, stopping by, giving a little bit of wisdom and motherly words. All right, you said I will be hitting the food banks today. Yeah, listen, people. Again, I can't reiterate this enough. Food banks are going to be crowded. Okay, until people get whatever food stamps that is supposedly coming to them. And the system, it could take a while. All right. If you're one of those people going to food banks, be patient. Be patient. Those lines are going to be long. And there's no shame in being in that line. And be grateful for what they have. It may not be your name brand food, but shit, I'd rather have generic corn in a can before I sit there and starve in the street. So I'm saying, and if you're somewhere cold, stay warm, stay patient, be patient, all right? And it's a meal, all right? It's the difference between your stomach touching your ribs and you just having just enough to sustain for 24 hours. So you got to humble yourself, get on that line if you have to get on that line, or if you're fortunate enough and you have family help you out. If you do, if you don't, you got to do what you got to do. Now, Drivy said, look up Frankie on YouTube. It's called Struggle Meals. I did look up Frankie on their Struggle Meals. In fact, I came across that not that long ago. I really did. Frankie Struggle Meals. Shit, I did an episode on Struggle Meals. I didn't even think I did a bonus. I have to research. Wait, no, we did a show on Struggle Meals not that long ago. Yeah, we did. But yeah, you got to do what you got to do. There's people on TikTok now. There was a woman that showed at a Walmart. It was a whole little end cap of hot dogs. That was like a pack of hot dogs for $1. Non-name brand, but they were still hot dogs. All right. And there are women actually on TikTok, I've seen it myself, that is giving tips on how to shop smart, shop cheap, and shop cheap enough to still feed everybody. So again, there's women out there giving you, and just people, not just women. There's people out there giving you the answers to the test if you can. All right. Everybody's situation is a little bit different, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Don't let anybody tell you any different at all. Look for sales, clearance. Oh, be careful though. If you look for clearance and markdowns, make sure the dates, the expiration dates are not too close to sell by or expiration. I'm just saying. So again, markdowns and clearances, because usually either the products are not pushing or they're simply getting close to expiration. So pay attention to that, especially if you're sensitive to certain foods. But nonetheless, look for sales. Cut out coupons. Do it old school. Print coupons out. Do what you got to do. Shop around if you can. There's going to be stores competing for prices. All that. You guys know what to do. Do the best you can. All right? We're all in this together. Now, Drip, you said the last a week and after anyways. Oh, the food. Well, again, circumstantial. Some people got lots of mouths to feed. Some people only got one mouth to feed, so but nonetheless, get a week's worth of food. If you have kids, get them maybe 2 weeks of food. Yeah, match prices, price comparison, everything. Before we go though, tomorrow's episode will be Would You Rather Part 2. Now, we did this show a few days ago to much success. It was an extremely fun show. Tomorrow will be a Part 2 around this same time tomorrow for you guys. I forgot you guys went back an hour, so that added an extra hour. Just between the same time as you guys watching this now, that's the same time we're going to do that segment, Would You Rather. Very fun episode. I even see it being a Part 3 or maybe a staple. Maybe